I'm Shari Einhorn. We are live to bring you the results of a Newsday investigation. A little boy's life was cut short in a wrong-way crash. His mother was at the wheel. Some child welfare experts believe authorities either missed or ignored red flags that could have prevented it. Joining me now to talk about the findings is investigative reporter Sandra Petty. Sandra, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Let's begin with a look at the story. Eli Henrys had his whole life ahead of him. The little boy described by neighbors as very respectful and a sweetheart. Eli was 9 when he was killed in a wrong-way crash on the Southern State Parkway. The driver of the car he was in was his mother, Carrie Bedrick. Child welfare experts believe warning signs about Bedrick's behavior were overlooked.
032. 0B5, there's going to be a 4-car MPA. Obviously, there's negative trap, BLA transported 1 to south side. It's going to be a crime scene to shut down.
It's very sad for everybody involved. Everybody involved in this incident was a loser.
Major Stephen Udis is the Troop L commander of the New York State Police. He responded to the crash scene and describes the heroic efforts of other troopers who tried desperately to save Eli.
They both immediately started CPR. I was told that they were both very invested in that they did everything they could possibly do to save Eli's life.
Bedrick admitted to taking methamphetamines, claiming she had a prescription. She pleaded not guilty to a 21-count indictment, charging her with depraved indifference murder, manslaughter, aggravated vehicular homicide, and aggravated driving while intoxicated with a child.
She loves her so much. She was only on prescription medications. And she's devastated, just like the rest of us are.
According to a Newsday investigation, there were at least 7 complaints filed with CPS against Eli's mom between May 2018 and May 2023. CPS determined they were all unfounded.
The allegations against Carrie Bedrick included inadequate guardianship, physical abuse, drug abuse in presence of a child, and it said that she was experiencing serious mental health concerns while being his only caretaker.
Neighbors here in Middle Island spoke with Newsday off camera, describing behavior from Eli's mother they said was unsettling and neglectful.
We felt bad for the kid. The kid would get off the bus, he'd be sitting on the stoop.
And nobody ever home for him.
I
and
mean,
he play by
you
himself.
know, you can't,
Yeah.
you're in kindergarten. So how old are you, 5, 6 years old?
Remember Thomas Valva? After the 8-year-old froze to death in his family's garage in 2020, county officials vowed to make improvements to CPS. According to this child fatality report issued by the New York State Office of Children and Family Services after Eli's death, there was a January 2023 incident where Bedrick wandered into a fire department hallucinating, experiencing rage. But according to the state review, CPS workers never checked with the fire department or followed up when Eli told them there were bad people doing bad stuff at his home.
After reading the report, I see that there's a lot of things that were just clearly missed that were just very obvious.
Jorge Rosario is the former bureau chief for the Children's Law Bureau for the Legal Aid Society of Suffolk County. He reviewed the case report on Carrie Bedrick and Eli Henrys. Remember the 7 CPS complaints that were determined to be unfounded?
One of the issues I think I see in the either the assessment or the reporting style is that they're taking everything in, just separately in one instant instead of the cumulative. You have to apply everything in a cumulative to really get an idea and picture of what's going on.
How frustrating is it for you with your background to read a report like this?
Well, it's frustrating to me because, you know, Thomas's death shouldn't be in vain. Eli's death should not be in vain.
Newsday also uncovered these police reports involving Bedrick. She was stopped 23 times in 6 years. All but 1 were for driving without a license. The New York State DMV suspended her license 56 times between January and August 2024 for failure to answer summonses. Do you think there were enough red flags that something should have been done?
Absolutely.
The Suffolk County Executive and the Suffolk DSS Commissioner declined our requests to be interviewed. Carrie Bedrick and her attorneys also declined to comment. Eli's father also declined to be interviewed, but did say he hopes this story will bring some much-needed change to CPS. Just a devastating story to work on, right? Okay, Sandra, let's talk more about the complaints filed against Eli's mom, Carrie Bedrick.
There were years of complaints against Carrie Bedrick about the care of her son, Eli. They ranged from abuse, neglect, and even selling methamphetamines in front of her son.
Any other red flags? We heard about the DMV also.
Well, there were 37 police calls to her house over 5 years for things like a domestic dispute, landlord-tenant disputes, and even a drug overdose.
I think the biggest question perhaps for people watching and reading will be, how could this have happened?
We still don't know. The county CPS records aren't public. And the county executive, Ed Remain, who promised reforms of CPS when he took office, declined to talk to us. So did Social Services Commissioner John Imhoff.
So we still have to keep asking these questions.
And we will.
Okay, thanks so much, Sandra. Now, if you want to read more about this story, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box on our homepage. I'm Shari Einhorn. Thanks so much for watching.